Hey everybody, how you doing? Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, Renia Webb, former chief of staff to Oakland Mayor Shang Tao, the recalled Oakland Mayor Shang Tao, for reasons best known to her, and you know, it's the best way I can put it, decided that on Nextdoor she would get upset with me for making a video questioning why she decided to run for office, considering how things have gone and whether or not it was the right thing to do in terms of how she's trying to present herself and everything else, right? And what she wrote comes on the heels of her texting and apologizing for what she wrote, not on Nextdoor, but just in text to me and then to Seneca. I'm not going to even kind of reflect her relationship with Seneca Scott. That's their business, not mine. But I have my own role and standing, and also truth that I'm very proud of. And Renia wrote, or I would say, had the temerity to write that I would, how did she put it? Wrote to tear down black women. And when I saw that, I laughed and I thought, I'm not even going to respond. And I thought about that, you know what? And then my head just exploded. And I realized I have interviewed more black women in Oakland politics than any other single person or media outlet. KTVU can't touch me. KRN can't touch me. KGO can't touch me. Because they interview, like, for example, in this race, right? They're interviewing either Barbara Lee, and that's it, okay? Nobody else. Okay, yeah, Renia a little bit, but then they didn't treat her right, okay? And you know this drill. What about at-large candidates? Did anyone interview Selinka Brown, who ran for at-large initially? No, not at all. Renia was the eventual winner, but how often was she interviewed on television? Okay, I interviewed her. I can go on and on and on. In fact, the first person I ever interviewed on YouTube was Aimee Allison, who ran for Oakland City Council District 6, and there she is right there. That was 18 years ago, folks. I'm coming up to within 1 year of 19 years. Next year will be 19 years on YouTube. Okay, 19 years. And a track record that nobody can match. So why Renia would even think that is only because she's focused on her and the fact that I said, hey, I'm writing something that cares. Now, then it comes on the heels of her texting and saying, hey, I really care about you and I really appreciate that. So I'm thinking, wow, that's a sort of kind of a two-headed sword there that I'm not even going to touch. But the bottom line is this. Black, and I've said this before, and I say it again, black-owned media matters. Because without black-owned media, you don't get the number of black women in Oakland I've interviewed who, if you look around, no one ever talked to. No one else ever bothered to talk to. People who had initially some shot at getting elected, but when the big names came through, they had no shot of getting elected. But at least they could point to the 1 hour video that I made with them, 1 hour, where you could get a full view of what they were thinking and what they're trying to achieve and everything else. 1 full hour. And so you can't do that anywhere else. No one else can make that claim. No one. So the track record I have is unmatched, unprecedented, and unfortunately, in the way Oakland's going, it may never be matched. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this video wakes others up to make videos about black women who are running for office. Even if you think they have no chance, interview them anyway. People say that to me. I remember Carol Wyatt said that to me about a candidate running, saying she's got no chance of winning. My attitude is this. If you are listed and you're official, you get interviewed. Even if you're starting early, you get interviewed. I've had that attitude from the start, and that's why I have the track record that I have. You get interviewed. You get promoted. So here I'm doing all this promoting, and obviously Renia's taken no look at what I put out and decided that, once again, as is her wont, to be nasty. But the simple fact of the matter is that, pure and simple, all right? Not only was my first interview with Aimee Allison, who was running in District 6, I interviewed her again. She was running against Pat Kernighan. That was in 2006. I have a list of sisters in politics in Oakland that I interviewed. That's so long, it's daunting. Let's take some of the names, like Dana King. Remember Dana King from Channel 5, who later ran for Oakland City Council at large? Remember Lynette Gibson McEhlhaney, who was our great District 3 council member for some time? Barbara Lee at the 2012 Democratic National Convention? Marcie Hodge, Rowena Brown, when she was running, and now she's our at-large council member. Cat Brooks, more than once. Monesha Carter, who's part of my company now. And I can go on and on. Brenda Grisham, who's been on here. Leanna Powell brought her story to Zennie 62 Media. Oakland side was so upset, they called themselves doing a hit piece on me, illegally used my photograph, and so to this day, that article is not seen on Google. Shame on you guys and gals, since the editor-in-chief is Yasim Raja. Okay? Alicia Kidd, the great owner of the downtown Oakland business that I featured during Oakland Restaurant Week of 2 years ago, that was a fun interview and a fun way of doing the interview that was path-breaking. Loved it. Coco Noir, wine shop and bar. Go there. Don't be a square. I had to make it rhyme some kind of way. Councilmember Treva Reid, Larry Reid's daughter, has been on the program. On and on and on and on. Renia, you're wrong, okay? You're totally 100% wrong. Totally 100% wrong. Where you got that idea from, I don't know. But the bottom line is, you got to stop putting down black folks. And I think it's reflective of whatever's going on in your life where you want to see something that isn't there with respect to somebody that does what I do. Like I said, for example, hey, I'd love to do a forum with all the candidates. You were quick to tell me you didn't want to be on my program. You had no problem going on the KTVU. Very quick, okay? And then after that, you wanted to do an interview, and we did the interview. And the interview was what? An hour and a half long. And guess what? There was no limit on it. I didn't say you can't say this or that. You said what you wanted to say. And some of it so incendiary that the video was viral. That was you, not me. That was you, not me. That was you, not me. Again, Renia, that was you and not me. Okay, you did that. You didn't call or text me and say, hey, Zennie, can you take this out or that? You left it alone. But then later blame me for how others reacted to the video. So my point is, find your better angels, Renia. Find your better angels and learn to appreciate those of us who are in areas of life that, yeah, traditionally we're not in, like media, but we should be. When I say not in, I don't mean actors or actresses. I mean in terms of owning media companies, producing media, and interviewing folks like yourself who are running for higher office or just office, period. Particularly black women. I am proud of my track record. There's nobody in Oakland that can match my track record, because no one in Oakland has been on YouTube as long as I have, doing what I do as consistently as I've done it. That's a fact, Jack. Subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube, the Vlog Report with Zennie62, and bookmark ZennieReport.com. That ends the stream.